Okay, my wagon wheel is basically set up. I'm sure I'm gonna have to do a little tweaking with it, but this puts us pretty close to dead center. Not exactly dead center of the pasture, but pretty close. I have the water tub right here for just a moment. I'm going to be moving it out. Move the stanchion over, and I'm hoping that I'm gonna have to put another post here, but that'll be an easy unhook for this makeshift gate. I may actually bring out an actual gate. I do still need to set up a holding area for Daisy, our calf, keep her separated. But you can see here we've started here on our wagon wheel. Technically I started over there just because it was easier to get them set up while they still had shade in our tree line over here. But we had enough slack off in the rain and good sunny days, so I was able to use the tractor, pull the shade mobile out of the mud hole it was stuck in, get it placed here, and then I just moved the stanchion over also with the tractor. And I've got them working on this paddock here. Now, obviously one thing that's going to happen is if we can't move this stanchion, excuse me, not the stanchion, but the shade mobile very far, then we're going to keep having this central location. If I start getting a manure load of concern, then I will have to move it. But the good thing about it is by having this central point, I can put a couple of T-posts in this general area, mark off wherever the manure load is starting to build up, and keep them from it. And then of course have the shade mobile isolated into the wedge of the wagon wheel that we're working on. These aren't perfect wedges, certainly not on this side either, because we initially started grazing down this fence line when I brought them in. If you can see this gate over here, is where we brought them in at, so they grazed all down that fence line all the way to the woods. So I don't want to put them back there. There's not much there, plus that's where we drive through at, so it's already, with all this rain, compacted, so I don't want them pugging it up any more than it already is from just me driving. Our wedge didn't work out quite as good when I moved over, but again, I think that's going to fix itself once we get to our basically straight ahead point, straight out here. Once I get to that point and start swinging around, where I'm back in line, like around 11, 12 o'clock, then going forward as we continue around clockwise, our wedges should work out hopefully pretty good. I'm sure they're not going to be perfect, but certainly good enough. And this isn't bad. This is just a minor overlap here, and it's dry enough that I'm not worried about them pugging it up. I guess it's possible they could come and nibble on some of this again, but there's not a heavy manure load here. Their manure is actually more on this side. So we'll let them work on this today, and then you can pretty much already see where the next paddock is. The lines already ran on that side. All I have to do is just move this line here over to where that line is, take my reel, put it to where that reel is over there. That'll be this final wedge here till we jump to that 11 o'clock and start swinging around. Went through and knocked down most of the weedy stuff that they weren't, some goldenrod and some other stuff that they weren't eating. Little patches here or there. I mean, obviously you can see there's still some stuff out there, but I don't want to get too crazy because the ground is still soft in some places. So I hit the areas that were I felt were stable enough to drive on without rutting it up too bad. So hopefully this system will work well. I'll keep y'all posted on it. You can't see their salt block, but it's buried right in the middle of this stuff that I know they're not going to eat. This kind of brown tip stuff, they don't seem to like that at all. I think it's goldenrod. This went to seed. I have seen Beulah eat the tops off of this goldenrod when it's at this level, this green. I'll show you what I'm talking about. I saw her snap the top right off of it. Not at this level, but at this level. So I think maybe she's going after that seed head. But this stuff here, none of them like it. Even the goats don't seem to be messing with it too much. You can see they're browsing around. They're actually eating lower than they normally do. Now he's nibbling on that. Some, but of course they don't eat very much. It's just the two of them. With how bad this field is, the two of them won't be able to knock too much of a dent in the stuff that the cows and donkey won't eat. But hopefully once we get our disease testing back on our sheep and we can bring them in here, the 6 of them will go a long ways for dealing with the stuff that the cows don't eat. So that's it for moving everything over here. We've got to load the sheep up, take them to the vet to have their blood work taken, and I'm not sure how long it's going to take to hear back on that. I'm sure they have to send it off to the lab. The quicker the better, that's for sure, because we want to get them out of just eating hay. We don't want to put them anywhere with yonis being a possibility. Really, I mean, anything else is not good, but yonis would be, pretty detrimental. So we don't want to get them out here until we know that they're clear on that, and then we'll have them join this crew, and hopefully we'll get this field into a legit pasture. I'm Robin with LeBon V Farm, and if you like this video, please do me a favor, hit like and hit the subscribe button on our page, so we can keep making videos and take you all along for our journey of seeing what we can do with soil regeneration here, as well as expanding our homestead operation into a full-scale farm operation. We have a long ways to go, but we are hoping to get there, and we appreciate any support we get from y'all. Thank you.